Hi there, this is Kassie, and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of August 29th to September the 4th. You can always find me on my website www.kassikai.com if you want a personal consultation with me or a detailed tarot reading. If you want to check out last week's predictions, you can find them on the link above. Our deck for today is the Paulina Kassie Tarot, which is a very nice deck, nice colors, nice illustrations. And this isn't the only deck from this artist. I think she has designed one or two more, so if you like the style, you can check them out. But let's get on with the predictions. For Aries, we had the Eight of Swords, and now it's the Ace of Wands. The Eight of Swords is a card of restrictions, obstacles, so maybe you faced some obstacles last week, or someone made things difficult for you for one reason or another, or they blocked you. The Eight of Swords often shows that someone blocks you, or you block someone. It's a card of communications. So it does show issues around communications. The Ace of Wands, however, shows fresh energy coming into your life, probably in the form of a new beginning or an opportunity that's coming your way this week. The Ace of Wands is a strong fire card, and that's why you will feel compelled to take action. We don't forget that Wands represent action. You will feel determined to find solutions, and solutions will come for you. So this is a big shift from the energies of last week. Where there were obstacles, now you will see a new door opening for you in a personal or a professional matter. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, this person has new feelings. There are stronger and more passionate feelings. If it's a new relationship, it shows attraction and sexual desire. Or if it's an existing relationship and there were trouble last week, you can expect that this week you'll get a second chance, or you will give a second chance, and things will get more positive. The Ace of Wands indicates that the beginning of the week will be the strongest, so expect that Monday or Tuesday will be the days with the strongest energy. If you've been expecting for something to happen, or if you've been expecting a message, don't forget that aces are associated with messages. This week you will probably get it. The Ace of Wands often points to someone in your life who will take action or will initiate communications or a process, and they will be more open to interacting with you. Aces do show potential, but at the same time they have a very fragile energy. That means if you're about to start something, you should keep in mind that you will need a lot of energy and a lot of commitment to take it to the next level. In other words, life will open a door for you, or will bring you an opportunity, but it will be up to you to make something grow. For Taurus, we had the Moon, and now it's the Nine of Wands. The Moon is a card of confusion, and it shows many different energies around you, many different feelings, because the Moon is associated with our emotions. And it's like the phases of the Moon that are always changing, so our moods change all the time under this energy. Maybe you experienced a lot of ups and downs last week in a relationship, or there was a situation in your life that felt very confusing and very uncertain. And that's the watery energy of the card. But the Nine of Wands this week is a fire card, very different vibe, an action card. So you will take action to dissolve any confusion someone has caused, and you will be determined to stand your ground. It's about persisting and demanding what you want and what you deserve. And in that process, you may come across as too strong or too demanding for some, but that's okay, because you will feel that's very necessary to act in a way that will make things more clear for you and will show others where you want to stand. At times you may get caught up in intense emotions, that's the energy of the moon again, but if you start taking action, then the universe will respond positively and the situation will start to shift. If you're wondering how another feels about you, it feels there is some stubbornness in them. They cannot see things from your point of view at this stage, and it's as if you are holding a rope and you pull it in different directions because no one is willing to budge. As you can imagine, that could cause the rope to break at some point, and by extension it could cause a disruption in a relationship. But you should try to figure out which needs of yours you want to defend, but at the same time, if the other person is doing the same thing, you will end up in a stalemated situation. The Nine of Wands does show feelings, intense feelings, but also great tension around those feelings. This energy will last for about 9 to 10 days, and there will be a release. Things will shift somehow. The Nine of Wands is the moon in Sagittarius, and that means that if you feel something or someone is restricting your freedom, this week you may decide to give it up. If you feel tired, fed up and drained, you need to take a step back and regroup. Don't make a decision if you feel very charged emotionally. In about 9 days from now, as I said, energies will shift again and you will have a very different situation in your heart, in your hands, as well as a very different frame of mind. For Gemini, we had the Hanged Man, and now it's the Seven of Pentacles. What these two cards have in common is that they show slow energies. The Hanged Man shows delays and also shows a change of perspective. So perhaps last week you took some distance from something or someone and you changed the way you see things, but you were not ready then to take action. You have made efforts already to get something done, and this week will put you in a waiting mode, waiting to see what kind of results you will be able to produce. Now with the Seven of Pentacles, things take time to manifest, and you'll be wondering whether something you got involved in is worth your time and energy. So this week there will be some uncertainty, some second thoughts about something, some impatience too. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, their feelings are growing, but the process is slow and you can't really figure out how they feel. You probably have invested much of your time and much of your energy trying to build this relationship, trying to make it grow, but it's much slower than you expected. Often under this energy though, you are on the verge of a breakthrough, so you may want to give it some more time, maybe a week or two, and then you will probably start seeing the first manifestations of the results you were hoping for. Maybe this week will be a test to your patience, and maybe the universe wants to test you to see how badly you want something, or if you really want something. Try to see this as an opportunity to reassess a situation, to make preparations and basically see how you feel. The most important part of this week seems to be the end of it, Saturday or Sunday, and those will be the days that hold the strongest energy. The Seven of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus, and Saturn places restrictions and obstacles generally. In the case of Taurus, it will be restrictions in pleasure, in things that make us feel good, as that's what Taurus represents. So you may find that you are not able to do something you enjoy, but since Saturn always comes with a lesson, perhaps there's something you need to learn now to pass a test that will allow you to graduate, so to speak, and get to the next stage. Saturn always rewards a lesson well learned, so if you experience an obstacle this week, try to see it from a different perspective and try to do things differently. For Cancer, we had the Star and now it's the Nine of Wands. Under the energy of the Star, maybe you set high goals or you made a big plan for the future because the Star always looks ahead. or you were dealing with a long-distance relationship, since this card is associated with foreign countries and long-distance relationships. In any case, the star is a very optimistic, very positive energy, so you must have experienced some positive moments last week. Now with the Knight of Wands, it's time for action. You take those plans you have in your head and you start taking action to bring them into reality. The Knight of Wands often manifests as surprises, unexpected events, so expect some very interesting developments this week. There may be a fire sign or ascendant person around you, an Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, that will play a role in your life. If you want to know how someone feels about you, this person feels very attracted to you. Their feelings for you are very warm, very positive, and they look forward to spending time with you. They have a great time with you, they have fun. Now, depending on the nature of your relationship, you may find that this person is not as serious or as mature as you would like them to be. So if you're looking for a serious relationship, the Knight of Wands is a sign that you are not there yet. There are some stages to be experienced. Maybe you have passed the initial stages, but you are not yet at the end result. If this is a new relationship, expect some instability, basically because, like I said, the Knight of Wands is rather unstable in his expression. So maybe one day he's acting one way and then another day another way, and that will confuse you a little. The energies you will experience this week will continue to develop in the course of the coming 2 weeks, so maybe you want to give it that time to see how something unfolds before you make a serious decision or before you pass judgments. Also, there might be an unexpected arrival or an unexpected departure, or you may even decide to go on a trip unexpectedly or because urgent conditions demand it. For Leo, we had the Two of Swords and now it's the Nine of Cups. The Two of Swords is a card of uncertainty, of ambiguity, but it's also a card of agreements and decisions. So maybe you made a decision last week, or you made a truce with someone you had an argument with. The Two of Swords often represents an olive branch you offer to each other and you make a temporary truce. Usually the energy, the deal, the agreement you make under the Two of Swords will not last for a long time, so it's not a long-term deal, but it will hold for a while so that you make a final decision. The Nine of Cups is called the wish card in tarot, so in a sense a wish will come true, big or small, and you will feel satisfied with your progress this week or with the developments you will experience. So expect there will be some very pleasant moments. You will feel that you did a very good job, either in a personal or a professional situation. This will be a positive week overall. There will be positive actions and positive developments. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, this person feels very connected to you, very good around you. They find your energy very pleasant and they are very receptive to it. They feel that you are compatible, that there is chemistry between you, and this person may invite you to dinner or they may invite you to do something fun together. Nines usually show the final stages of a situation, just as tens do, but with nines there's one more thing that needs to be done before you get what you want. So if you've been impatient, feeling that something you want has not happened yet, try to be a little patient, give it 9-10 days and you will be offered something that will make you feel really good. Things that started between March the 1st and March the 10th may now come to a head that will mark the end of the cycle. The Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces, which happens to be one of the very significant transits of this year, and that makes 2022 a very significant year for you, especially when it comes to connecting with others, and for that reason you will be able to smooth over and sweeten up relationships that have been challenged, and this week in particular will give you a glimpse of what to expect in the coming months. For Virgo, we had the Judgment and now it's the Lovers. That's a very different energy from last week, but I must say that the Judgment is considered one of the karmic cards in Tarot, so maybe something very significant happened last week, something that set the wheels in motion. However, that's something that doesn't allow you to look forward yet, because the Judgment is associated with the past primarily. So maybe there was an energy from the past around you, someone resurfaced, or maybe a repeat of a situation that we experienced before. The Lovers too is a karmic card and it shows dilemmas, decisions, and it's associated with personal relationships and with love, of course. So maybe now you have to make a decision about what happened last week, and you may have to do some thinking about the way you will respond. Often under the energy of the Judgment, the universe sends us situations that are similar to situations we experienced in the past, with the purpose to make us respond in a different way that will produce different results. This will be your chance to show whether you have learned a lesson or not. The Lovers is a good sign for love, as you can imagine, so if you want to know how someone feels about you, this person is feeling very connected to you. They are in love with you, they want to spend time with you, but maybe they have to make a decision. They need to make a choice before they can go ahead with something more with you. This is a very intense energy, so expect some very significant developments in your love life and in your relationships in general. The energies of this card will continue to unfold for 6-7 days from now, and the end of the week seems to be the most intense. Events that started between the 21st May and the 21st June will come to a head now, or you will have to make a choice based on what happened around that time. The Lovers is associated with Gemini, so there might be a strong presence in your life who's a Gemini Sun or Gemini Ascendant, while communications, talks, writing are favored this week. If you have a negotiation to make, this is a good week to do so. For Libra, we had the King of Wands and now it's the Ace of Cups. The King of Wands is a very active card, so developments must have been fast, interesting, and maybe unexpected last week, and maybe a person who's a fire sign or ascendant played a significant role. And it's possible that this person will come to you with an offer this week, an invitation or some sort of new beginning. The Ace of Cups is usually associated with feelings, with love, so it often represents a new beginning when it comes to our personal relationships, and that means it could be a brand new relationship, someone new that you are going to meet, or it could be a new beginning in an existing relationship like a reunion, or sometimes it means that you are taking the next step in a relationship. So this will be a rather interesting week when it comes to love and your personal connections. I must remind you that the Ace of Cups is not necessarily romantic. You may meet a new friend, for instance. Now, since aces represent the seed and the first stages of something, the challenge here will be to seize the opportunity and turn it into something that is more sustainable, and that will require time and energy and also patience. An ace always shows a new beginning or a restart that has potential to become something more. However, you need to put the necessary energy in it to transform it into something more substantial. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, they like you, they have feelings for you, and they will do something to show you. Since cups are passive cards, it may not be something very direct or very clear. They may try to show you they care, doing something nice for you, or by making a romantic gesture. Maybe they are a little shy or they are not very good with words, and they will show you in different ways. So try to remain alert for those signs that will show you how someone feels. Having said that, the Ace of Cups is a message like all aces, and it's basically a message of love. The beginning of this week, Monday, Tuesday, seem to be the strongest, and it's then you are going to receive a message or an offer or even a very nice gift. If you've been expecting news about a relationship or health, news will be good. For Scorpio, we had the Knight of Swords and now it's the King of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords is usually a disruptive card. It's an energy that shows disagreements, contrasts, differences. You want something and another person wants something different, and maybe there was an argument last week or someone decided to take distance and then they were very unpredictable and even rude. For some of you, maybe you had to deal with someone who was rude or aggressive or caused trouble, since the Knight of Swords is often a troublemaker. Now, the King of Pentacles is a grounding and stabilizing energy, so whatever happened last week, whatever disruption you experienced or problem you had to face, things will stabilize now and you will feel more confident and more secure. If you felt that someone put you in a situation that caused trouble one way or another, now you will find a way to experience more security and more stability. The King of Pentacles is an earth sign or ascendant man in your life, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, and he has a stabilizing effect. He is very down to earth, practical, methodical and pragmatic, and together you will resolve a practical issue either in a professional or a personal situation, especially if there have been a lot of fights, as the Knight of Swords indicates. If you want to know how someone feels about you, you will notice they are getting more consistent, more reliable, because their feelings are now more stable, meaning they are more in touch with their feelings, they know what they want. Now, if we are talking about a romantic relationship, then they may not be as romantic as you'd like them to be, but they can offer a solid and long-lasting relationship, if a serious relationship is what you are looking for. Now, this person may have some family issues to resolve before they are able to go ahead with a relationship with you, and they are in the process of doing that, but Pentacles are slow and they develop over a long period of time. So you have to be a little patient and you should not try to force things prematurely. The King of Pentacles has a time frame of 12-13 days, and maybe that's when you will experience the full potential of the energies of this card. For Sagittarius, we had the Ace of Swords and now it's the Seven of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a card of power, a card of new beginnings, like all aces of course, potential, and it's when you decide to take your power back or to step into your power, to take a situation in your own hands. That often means that you are cutting cords with someone or something that's not good for you. Now, with the Seven of Swords, you may decide to do something unusual, and also that's about thinking outside the box, about thinking of alternative ways of doing things, and that's especially good if you're trying to do things following traditional methods or doing something again and again and there were no positive outcomes. This week, if you adopt a different approach, a different attitude, you'll see that the situation, either personal or professional, shifts in ways that are quite unexpected. Even you may feel surprised by seeing the results you are going to produce. But it's very important that you don't repeat the same thing over and over. The Seven of Swords is a card of deception and lies, so you may want to be a little careful not to believe people blindly, although you should give them the benefit of the doubt in some cases. However, if there's been someone who has lied to you repeatedly or cheated on you, you should not trust them and you should not find excuses for them. Try to see them for what they really are and stick to the facts. That's the safest way to avoid being deceived. Astrologically, the Seven of Swords is a moon in Aquarius, and that's a rather detached placement for the moon, so you will probably feel more logical and less emotional this week. You may also have a very unusual meeting with someone who's eccentric or unconventional in one way or another. If you want to know how someone feels, they are hiding their feelings, and that can happen for many reasons. Maybe they don't feel comfortable sharing what they really feel, or they think that if they say what they feel, you are going to take advantage of them. Or you are the one who's feeling that way. This is a week to take it slow until you are positive that you have figured out what's going on, that you know what another's intentions are. But if you feel uncertain, you should not go ahead with something that makes you feel ambiguous. Within 7 days or so, you will be able to see things more clearly. For Capricorn, we had the Hermit and now it's the Ten of Pentacles. The Hermit is a rather introspective energy, so you or another person around you needed some space last week and communications must have stopped, or there was distance for one reason or another. The Ten of Pentacles has to do with family or property matters or inheritance, but it's also associated with big organizations, big companies. But the Ten of Pentacles is also associated with commitments of any kind. Could be professional commitments that will require your attention this week, or personal relationships. If it's a personal relationship, it's not about the emotional aspects of it, it's the practical aspects of it, how you function within a relationship and what your role is. You will want to build something solid and long-lasting, but for that you will need to work with other people, to work with your partner. The energy of the Ten of Pentacles and Tens in general is inclusive. It's very different from the energy of the Hermit you had last week, who's basically excludes other people, and this week you'll have to work with someone, as you will realize that you cannot do things by your own. And you'll see that if you try to do things by your own, you may experience strong resistance, or you may experience that things are not going the way you want them to go. So it's very possible that this week you are going to make plans with someone, solid plans that will show you the next steps one by one. The Ten of Pentacles is organization, it shows stability and things that are missing from your life at the moment, but you will have those things, you will experience those things if you work with a plan and with patience. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, with this 10, expect that they feel comfortable around you and with the situation as it is. It's important for them to feel safe and secure, whatever safety or security means for them. And if you can provide that safety, that will be greatly appreciated. Astrologically, the Ten of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo, and this energy will give you the gift of communication. You will be able to express your thoughts in such an ordered and concise way that you will be able to win any argument and you will be able to understand the big picture. Between the 12th and the 22nd September, there might be a culmination of the current energies, while the strong day of this week will be Wednesday most likely. For Aquarius, we had the Three of Wands and now it's the Nine of Swords. The Three of Wands is the card of future, and maybe you made plans last week, and the Three of Wands is often associated with foreign countries too, or people who live abroad. Maybe you were organizing a trip to another country, and generally the Three of Wands is an optimistic and positive energy. The Nine of Swords you got this week is a disruptive energy, and you may start to worry about something. And the problem with this card is that they can cause anxiety if we get too caught up in our fears and our insecurities, and sometimes we even lose sleep over our problems. Now, don't get me wrong, the Nine of Swords often shows that there is a good reason for our worries, so you will probably have to deal with an obstacle to resolve a problem, but you should not let anxiety get the better of you, as that will make things worse. The obstacles we are talking about here may have to do with communication issues, because swords are associated with communication basically, and how we express our thoughts. So maybe you will say something that will be misunderstood, or maybe you will misinterpret someone's intentions, or even you may have to give explanations, but that means that whatever issue comes up will be resolved. There might be a contrast between you and another person that may last 9 to 10 days until it gets resolved. If you want to know how someone feels, this person is rather distant at the moment and they feel that your communication is very hard and you don't understand each other's needs. The presence of this card shows that the area of communications is where you need to work with a particular person. Lack of understanding and lack of quality of communication is hurting you both. The good news is that the Nine of Swords is Mars in Gemini, and that means your words and your ability to communicate your thoughts is now very powerful, as is your ability to control and manipulate through words if that's what you want to do. You can use this powerful energy to resolve any communication issues that caused problems lately. For Pisces, we had the Emperor and now the Two of Pentacles. The Emperor is someone in your life, probably a fire sign or ascendant male, an Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, and he's a strong presence in your life, a very supportive and protective presence. If he's in your personal life, he could be your father, because the Emperor is often a father figure, or an older male, or it could be any man who's influencing your life in a powerful way. Now the Two of Pentacles shows that you are going to make a decision about the situation that you and this male are involved. If it's a professional situation, you may have to choose between two different paths. For instance, you may have a new job offer and you may be thinking whether to stay in your current job or to move on to something new. Or if you are talking about personal relationships, you may have to choose between two different people, or you may have to decide which direction you want the relationship to go, and that may be either the next level in your relationship, or you may decide that you want something totally different and that you are not happy with things as they are in your love life. The Two of Pentacles is a card of balance though, so you won't cause any disruptions this week, but you will try to maintain a balance that will hold for a while. And that's the key aspect of this card. Twos come after aces, and they show that there are many stages before you manifest the outcome you desire. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are rather ambiguous and they go up and down with those feelings. There's a very fragile stability because there are underlying issues that have not been resolved, practical issues that make things difficult at the moment. In any case, they seem that they have not made the final decision about where they want things to go in your relationship. The beginning of the week, especially Tuesday, seems to be the strongest day of this week, and likely there will be a process that will start now and will last until the end of December, between 22 and 30 December, and around that time you will experience the outcome you wish to manifest. So these were the weekly predictions for the week of August the 29th to September the 4th. I hope you enjoyed them and I will see you next week. I hope you have a very nice and productive week.